welcome to our digital coffee break today. I hope everyone's having a good day, whether it's earlier in your day or if it's the afternoon already. Yesterday we talked about how COVID-19 is impacting brands and businesses in the immediate, and you can see the recording of that on our YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about more about long-term strategy in the face of what we're all going through today. So let me just introduce myself quickly. I'm Kat Peak. I'm the content marketing manager here at Make Me Reach. And so today's topic is summer sales campaigns. So it might seem a little bit strange to talk about summer sales these days as we navigate through such a strange and difficult time for many people and businesses. The past several weeks have definitely not been business as usual for any of us, and there are definitely brands that are suffering for it. So coronavirus has been impacting businesses in two main ways, and we kind of covered this yesterday in our webinar. At first, basically, you have customers dealing with the fear of the virus and voluntarily staying home. And in a lot of places, businesses have been forced to close their doors, and citizens are compelled to stay home. I read this morning that about 1/3 of humanity is actually confined at home right now. So that's obviously driving some huge shifts in consumption. It's driving business for some e-commerce, especially things like online grocery stores, and as well as online media. But for a lot of businesses like restaurants and retail, it's a really tough time. Just to give a statistic that I read this morning, looking at click growth, there was a grocery retailer that saw click growth skyrocketing by 433% in mid-March. Well, an online discounter saw click growth drop in 56% during the same period. So yeah, really huge shifts happening right now. Even if it's not business as usual, one of the worst things you can do is get caught without a plan when the situation does start to stabilize and things start to go back to normal. Summer sales is one of the most important shopping periods in the upcoming months, and a lot of businesses really do a lot of their sales during that time. So to make sure your brand makes the most of this crucial period, you can already start planning and anticipating your advertising now. Today, more than ever, you'll want to make sure you really go out there with a solid strategy to maximize the number of sales you're able to drive. And now if you're a brand that's struggling with confinement and closures, you can take that time to build a strong strategy to really plan for the future. So what can you work on now to build a solid foundation for your upcoming summer sales digital ads? The first thing is to build the right audience. So, targeting the wrong people will obviously make you lose both money with your ads and then when it comes to sales. So you want to make sure you're really reaching the right people with your advertising. A good place to start is look at past campaigns and see which audiences work really well and build off of that. A lot of networks also offer pretty powerful advertising tools, audience building tools rather. So Facebook obviously really lets you customize who you're targeting, but a lot of other networks also have great tools for that. So one tool you can use is custom audiences. So these are created from website data, and it's a really powerful way to reach existing customers and those who've previously shown some interest by visiting your website, for instance. Lookalike audiences are also a great tool. So Facebook has this, but there are other networks that have something similar. So lookalike audiences let you target people who are similar to your existing target audience. So once you've created a custom audience on Facebook, for instance, you can use it as a seed audience to build a lookalike, and that's a great way to prospect for new customers. Next, think cross-network. So we know that our customers are being inspired and researching products and making purchasing decisions all across networks. This isn't happening just on Facebook or only on Google, and that means your ads should be planned across networks as well. Make sure your ads are planned strategically to reach customers across the full funnel and across networks. Here at Make Me Reach, we have a lot of clients who have seen really good results with their cross-network strategies. I won't dwell on them too long, but I'll just give you a quick example of Tammy Benjamin, who is one of our clients who Make Me Reach. So this campaign that we're looking at was around Black Friday, so not summer sales, but also a really important sales period for a lot of brands. So their strategy here, working with the Make Me Reach team, was to drive action through the full funnel on Facebook and Instagram, and then support that with brand search campaigns on Google. So on Facebook, our team ran a traffic campaign to drive awareness and fill the top of the funnel with potential customers, and then using Facebook Pixel, qualified prospects and retargeted them. On Google, the strategy focused on brand searches. So the Google Ads featured broadly the same messaging as on Facebook, and leveraged warm audiences from the Facebook and Instagram campaigns, and that helped ensure a strong brand message across channels. So building that brand message, really leveraging different networks across the funnel and retargeting, they saw really good results you can see here on this slide. The next thing is to think about your creative strategy. So we know that creatives are a really big factor in driving performance. It's what tells your brand story, and it's what people really identify with your brand. And in a period like summer sales, where there's a lot of competition for attention, you really want to make sure you can stand out from the crowd, and creative is a great way to do that. It might seem a little bit early to talk about creative, but especially now if you have the time, think about what you want your strategy to look like. Take advantage of the time you have now. So some of our favorite creative tips are here on the slide. So first, have a clear concept and stick with it. Really identify what the core elements of your brand are and build messages throughout your ads that stick to that messaging. That's going to help your customers really understand and identify your brand, and that's really important today. We touched on that in yesterday's webinar, that now with the uncertainty we're facing is not the time to really experiment a lot with your brand messaging. So decide what your message is and really support that with your creatives. Next, keep your creatives clear and concise. So people are scrolling through really quickly. We all do it. And it should be really easy to understand what your ad is about. So that means your visual messaging should be clear, your copy, you should be really concise, and that'll make it easy for people to understand what your ad is about at a glance. And lastly, make your creatives mobile first. The vast majority of people are using or looking at networks on their smartphones. So you want to make sure that your creatives are designed for that. And then if you need to adapt them for desktop after that, you can go ahead and do that, but really keep it mobile first in terms of creatives. And the last point is about automation. So you want to consider how you can optimize your resources when it comes to your summer sales campaigns, both in terms of your budget and your time. And now in these days, you really want to make sure you're doing the most with your budget. There are a lot of automation tools that can help you do that exactly. So some networks have their own automation tools. One example is Dynamic Creative Optimization, or DCO, on Facebook. So DCO lets you identify and dynamically deliver the best performing combinations of creatives to your audience. So Facebook basically takes all the different elements of your ad. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, great. I just saw my own video disappear, so I was a little bit worried. So DCO takes all of the elements for your image, your video, your copy, and then takes different combinations of that and automatically tests each combination to optimize delivery based on what's working best. And then here at Make Me Reach, we also offer a lot of useful automation tools that really help you get more out of your campaigns. So for example, in our automation center, you can set up different rules that really give you a lot of control over how your budget is spent, let you optimize based on the KPIs that are most important to you. You can automate around third-party data. So we give you a lot of flexibility in terms of that, which can help you really get more out of your ads. And we also have a powerful AI recommendation tool. So that works across Facebook, Instagram, Google, and most recently Snapchat also. And it ingests all of your campaign data, analyzes that, and gives you specific recommendations. So those can include all factors that affect your ads. So audience, bid strategy, budget, placement, and a lot of other elements. And that tool is Whitebox, so it really allows you flexibility in what you decide to use. So you can accept or reject any of the recommendations. But this tool working cross network really offers you a lot of agility in optimizing your ads, and that's a real asset in times of uncertainty like today. So that was just a quick overview of some essential things you can consider as you look ahead to the summer sales. I hope it's been useful. Thanks so much everyone for joining, and what do I want to say? Yeah, tune in tomorrow. So we're here every day. Tomorrow we'll be looking at live streaming and advertising today. We know a lot of people are using social networks a lot, with so many people being confined, and there are brands who are using live streaming in really interesting ways. So we'll be talking about that. I also want to say, if you have any suggestions of topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to shoot us an email. We're happy to hear from you, and we hope you can join us tomorrow.